Hey, house guests.
Hi.
Welcome to today's Big Brother Canada 11 Digital Daily Updates. Thank you all for being here. Our house guests of the day are Carl Van Bergen and Jason Morellas. Thank you both so much. Yes. Are you trying to do a Zach?
Yeah. Sorry.
Thank you all so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. As BBCan said, it's $1 for a holla. I'm cold. It's cold in here. All right.
You have your spring outfit on.
Yeah, well, it's in the 50s
with your
today.
Winter blanket.
It's colder in the house than it is outside, probably.
It sure is.
That's what it feels like. But anyway, this digital daily nonsense has been delivering the last 2 days. They've been stepping it up. They've been giving us more game talk.
You think they fired the interns? And
no, I don't know why everyone assumes that interns are in charge of such a big thing like this. Or like social media. Like, these are real paying jobs.
Well, then who the effed up?
I don't know.
Excuse me, stop your cursing.
Oh my God. Yeah, we noticed today that Shania was being chastised for her cursing. Whereas
the boys squad were cursing like sailors.
I didn't hear any warnings for them.
And there were no warnings.
That was weird. But anyway, before we get into the new stuff.
Watch your profanity.
Yeah. When we left off yesterday, JM is trying to rally the votes to stay. He needs 6. I mean, I guess depending on if it's just one other person that's getting votes, you know what I mean? Because it's weird with 3.
He just can't get the votes. He also has to have somebody else get all of the votes. The votes can't be split for the other people.
Yeah. I don't know. But he thinks he can do it. It's not looking good in reality. He's up against Tattoo Dan, DJ Dan, and Renee. And people are definitely
does not have a shot in hell.
They're viewing JM as the biggest target out of the 3. So, yeah. But in other news, we saw some signs of intelligence from the women in yesterday's Digital Daily.
What?
I know.
Some signs.
So, Claudia, Shania, Renee, and Santina were all talking about potentially working together because they're realizing that the bros have something going on. And they don't want to just get used by those guys.
They're going to get used.
Nobody wants a repeat of season 7. No one. I don't think the pretty boys even want that.
Probably not.
Santina woke up and she's realized that's what happened to her this week. She let those guys get in her ear.
Got bamboozled.
Duh. But she's noticing now the guys are not really talking to her as much now that all of her HOH power is done. So it's a big wake-up call.
Anymore.
Well, like I said, don't get too excited because Ty was already asking Claudia if there's a girls' alliance. And she didn't say that there is because, like,
the giggle said it all.
She's a real one. Volumes. Yeah, she's a real one so far. I don't see her like outright saying there's a girls' alliance, but like the way that she was laughing about it, like it was easy for Ty to see through that. I think he knows. Maybe she was wearing one of the other girls' sweatshirts and I gave it away. I don't know. I can't. Sweatshirt Gate is insane.
For the people who don't know about Sweatshirt Gate, why don't you just explain it?
Well, if you saw last night's episode, Ty was all pissy because Claudia was wearing one of Rob's hoodies and Ty viewed that as like a slap in the face to him because they're supposed to have like a blossoming showmance.
Newsmance?
Yeah. So,
is he going to put on his ram horns and go up against Rob?
I mean, in the game, yeah. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get there because there's more Sweatshirt Gate to come.
It's heating up.
Yeah. So let's talk about today's Digital Daily. It's covering yesterday, day 12 in the Big Brother house. Yes.
Finally. This is what we needed.
A lot of good stuff in here. So JM was chatting with Anika, and it definitely seemed like a campaign chat, but also a like, I might be leaving, so I want to give you some advice on my way out. So he was telling Anika, you really need to look out for yourself because
I know.
This group of guys, these bros, they are trying to manipulate you and they're going to try and use you as a number. And just because Ty used the veto on you, you owe them nothing. Like, don't feel like you need to do whatever they want now because Ty saved you.
I was just waiting for her to say, like, don't tell me what to do. You're going home. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard Anika talk about her dislike for JM for sure. But JM is singing Kuzi and Daniel's praises. He loves them. He thinks that they're great people to work with.
They would have been great together. But he made a fatal,
Oh yeah.
He made a fatal error and he ruined it.
An error.
He did.
Yeah, I mean, him telling Zach that he was going to target the guys, like, when he wasn't even HOH. Ah!
Even if he was HOH.
Yeah, it's a lot.
No.
All right. Well, JM is saying that he wants to stay and he wants to work with Santina. He's been telling a lot of people this. I think originally he was planning on being like, she's a liar. I'm not supposed to be up here, blah, blah, blah. I'm going against her. But I think he figured he had a better chance of staying if he was pro Santina.
Right.
And it seems like he's legit about that. And he actually does want to stay and work with her.
Yeah, for sure. He just wants to stay.
No, but I mean, like, if he stays, it does seem like he wants to work with her for real.
They're sending him home like Frankenfurter. The spaceship's taking off, but you're not going to be on it. You're gone.
It's the end of Rocky Horror.
Yes.
So JM tells Anika, people are so scared of me. That's why I'm the target this week. And there are some people in here who think that they're running the show. But we can show them that they're not if you keep me.
I mean, I think he had a very valid argument.
Oh, yeah.
He's just really bad at campaigning.
And he knows a lot about the game. Very, very knowledgeable about the game.
Of course. But he did not know how to, his social game is poo-poo.
He even said in his pre-show interviews that, like, he can't keep his mouth shut. So we saw he did himself dirty here.
I feel like he could have turned this around if he had been more like Zach. I hate to say it. Zach is very convincing.
Well, Zach is also not fooling many people at this point.
No, but if he had just gotten people to get past what he had done, he would have been able to rally together half the house.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So Anika says, you never know what's going to happen. Keep trying. I'm not going to agree. She didn't tell him that, but like,
keep trying. I hate you. Goodbye. Nice knowing you.
Yeah.
She said she did not like him.
Well, we have a quick chat here between Dan and Kuzi in the kitchen.
Okay.
And I think this was some sort of a campaign chat, but like Dan is not good at this.
Dan is a blank.
Yeah. So Kuzi,
unfortunately, he's a nice guy.
He seems great.
But game-wise,
not a lot going on. So Kuzi asks Dan, what would you do if you won HOH next week?
I don't know.
Dan doesn't give any specifics, obviously. We've heard so many people complaining that he does not give out any game information. He's not talking game with people.
Can you blame anybody for not wanting to give out game information after what happened
you have
to
to
JM?
Talk to some people, though.
But isn't he, like, talking to Shanae?
I don't know.
And
I mean, you're on the block. You got to start making people some promises here.
No, he doesn't, because they told him he was cool.
I guess.
He's cool for the summer.
It's also off-putting to some people who are like, why is he so comfortable? I don't like that. So
yeah, he
didn't give any specifics, but he does say, I need to talk to everyone and find out if people have been throwing out my name. And then, I can go from there. You're on the block this week. People have been throwing out your name. There is a reason you're up on the block. It's because people have been throwing out your name.
Yeah.
I would start with maybe the HOH that, she could be a good candidate for you to put up on the block. I don't know. So it was a quick conversation. Swap out Kuzi for Santina, and Santina is letting Dan know that he should be good for this vote from what she's hearing. And he's like, okay, cool. He does still plan to talk with everybody, check in with everybody. But yeah, I mean, you don't want to do too much because then you're just making it harder for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Not much to say there.
No.
So then JM is chatting with Santina in the HOH room. And he's like, Santina, I feel like I understand.
We could have been contenders.
Yeah, I understand why you did what you did this week. And I'm not mad at you. He says he feels like she put him up because her hand was forced this week. It's week 1. What?
She was puppeted.
I mean, he's right about that. He knows that Zach was a huge part in him going
Did Zach force her? No. But she
could have
was
been
puppeted.
like, no.
She saw that she was distracted by the pretty colors.
I mean, she does need to take some responsibility here, too, because as we saw on the show, JM wasn't even Zach's biggest target for part of the week anyway. She could have just gone after, like, Renee or something.
Yeah.
But no, she was staying true to her, I'm going to target JM thing. So, I mean, she's got to take some responsibility there.
Zach's not the only person who got in her ear about JM.
True.
You know, Kuzi also threw JM under the bus.
Yeah, a few people just jumped on that bandwagon.
Yeah, so like, yeah, exactly.
It was kind of like, yeah, once that name is out there, people just start jumping on that, especially this early in the game.
Well, because when you don't want it to be you.
Of course.
Even if it's a lie. But in this case, it wasn't.
So JM says to Santina, I take back everything that I said in the heat of the moment. Are we going to see any of that on tonight's episode? I hope so.
No. You mean the fallout from the veto? Okay.
I hope so.
Maybe a little.
I feel like there's still a connection here. You know, I think we could still work together. I can benefit your game. And Santina's like, cool. Like, I like you, but there's
I like you as a person, but I don't have any influence over the house.
Yeah. She's like, there's not anything I can do at this point. I don't have sway over the vote. People see you as a threat, and I can't go against the house like that.
Lame.
I mean, it's true though. Like, she does not have influence over these votes. We've seen before, like early on in the game, sometimes people will be like, I'm doing what the HOH wants, but like
the HOH doesn't have any power.
The HOH in this case was not calling the shots this week. So people are listening to not the HOH. But again, Santina's saying, I'd love to work with you, but I'm going to have a hard time trusting you moving forward, you know, because now there's this. And I'm always going to wonder, like, is he going to go after me because of what happened? So she tells JM, embrace the time that you're here, that you have. Ugh, that's not a good sign.
You're not wrong for this game.
So
I love the face that you drew. She made an emoji. She went.
Yeah, I like to use the cringe face in my notes.
I know. I like that.
So then JM says he accepts it. He realizes he could be going for sure. He's gone through all the stages of grief. Yes.
He's been going through these stages of grief since
for days.
Since he's been put up.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just a constant cycle. But anyway, he keeps telling Santina, like, you can sway the votes this week. You can do it. My game is in your hands, blah, blah, blah. And Santina's insisting she does not have influence over the votes. True. So JM says, you know, we could have been great together. People were afraid about you and me working together because we could have run this house. That's why they've pitted us against each other.
Great. Didn't happen. Move on.
All right. So then he's giving Santina some advice moving forward.
Right.
Don't do what you did this week. Do what's best for you. You know, you have to put yourself first in this game, not do what other people.
Let's take a poll of one. Do you think Santina will have this as a wake-up call and not be steamrolled by the guys anymore? Or do you think she's just going to go right back when they say, you're pretty?
You never know if they start giving her enough attention again.
What do you think?
I'm hoping that this was a wake-up call for her, but I'm also trying to be realistic and not get my hopes up too high. I'm
gonna say it's just lip service. She's gonna go right back to the guys.
It's possible.
Well, whatever guys are left.
So JM tells Santina, like, don't worry, all is forgiven no matter what happens. We're gonna be friends outside of this.
We're gonna be friends.
Yeah. So then JM is chatting with Kuzi and Hope. And he is filling them in on this conversation that he had with Santina. He's saying, I extended the olive branch, but Santina said that she doesn't want to go against the house and people want me out of here. So Kuzi seems...
Yes, true.
Kuzi seems really surprised that JM genuinely would want to work with Santina if he were to stay. She's like, are you sure you want to do that? And he's like, yeah, I think, you know, she was kind of forced to make this move this week. I do feel, though, that, like...
That's like getting back with the girlfriend after, oh, you were forced to cheat on me. So
I do feel though that he is right in not focusing on Santina as his target if he's to stay. I think he's got bigger fish to fry, but I don't know if I would like work with her. I don't know. It depends. So that aside, JM still thinks that he has 5 votes and he needs 6. So he counts off his potential votes and he's like, all right, I've got Kuzi, I've got Hope, Daniel, Anika, and Claudia.
No.
And he's like, I just
need has any of them at this point.
I know. He's like, I just need one more person to vote out Dan. No, I'm good.
Now that's a lie. Because no.
Okay. So then Kuzi is like, all right, what if like some of these people are just saying that they're gonna vote to keep you to your face, but then like that's not what they're actually gonna do. Yeah, I mean, we've seen it season after season, right? So JM's like, be careful with Zach. He's warning a lot of people, be careful with Zach because he has been behind everything so far. He's a smooth talker, but you got to make sure you're just blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
When he starts flapping those gums. So
yeah,
Kuzi asks JM, what if you find out like you don't have the votes? Should I still vote for you to stay? Like, what are your expectations here? So JM does not want his friends to get screwed over. So he's like, I will let you know. Yeah, vote with the house. You don't have to like give me any sympathy votes or anything. Right. All right. So
I mean, that's smart. That's good.
Yeah, that's very kind.
Yeah.
To not like hold a grudge over something like that.
Right.
So, okay, let's check in with Claudia and Ty Maintenance.
Oh.
Things are still weird between these two.
Are you okay? Are you still cranky?
Yeah, better? He is. It seems like he's almost always cranky. So Claudia
doesn't stop him from mumbling.
He's always mumbling. Claudia was just trying to check in with Ty Maintenance, and he was giving her nothing. He's giving her mumbled one-word answers, and she's just like, are you sure you're okay? He's just very cold with her right now.
She should really dump him.
She should run, and fast.
She should cut ties right now, and like
cut ties with Ty Maintenance because it's not working out.
No.
So anyway,
she needs to get her alliance re-renovated.
Yeah, we're gonna come back to that whole thing in a bit, but in the meantime, JM is continuing on the campaign trail.
He had stop.
It's a lot of repetitive stuff, but at least we're seeing game things, right? So he's talking to Daniel. And he's telling him all about how Zach is running the house right now. Santina got used by the guys. She like changes the tone of her voice whenever she's talking to them. Yeah. And Daniel's like, oh, I never like noticed that. I was thinking of her as someone I could go deep into this game with. And now I don't know if I can trust her moving forward.
Do you think he really had an awakening?
I feel like Daniel knew before that Zach was running things because we heard him say that the other day, didn't we?
Yeah, but do you think he cares?
I think he cares. I think Daniel wants the house to split into like 2 sides, and then he wants to play the middle.
I think he's pie in the sky fantasy land with his little scenario.
Yeah. I mean, you never know, but that is his ideal situation.
He went in with this plan. I think he said this in his pre-interview. And I think it's going to be his downfall because
you got to be able to adapt.
Exactly. Hope.
Yeah. So JM was saying that his dream team would have been working with Daniel and the girls. Would have been fun to see it, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen now. All right. Well, then we get Renee and Ty chatting over a game of pool. And apparently Renee beat Ty in pool.
Good.
Which means that Ty is really bad at pool.
Where would he rank, though? You think he's still higher than Anika? Probably.
I don't know, maybe.
Probably.
But Renee beat him.
Hey, Renee's been practicing.
I guess so. So, you know, Renee is up on the block. She's not just skating by here. She's got to make sure she's got all of her T's crossed, her I's dotted. Yeah. So Ty wants to know, who would you put up if you won HOH?
Smartly, she was non-committal.
Well, she was like Dan, not naming names, of course. But I feel like she had a little bit of a better answer here. She was giving a little more because she was saying, well, I know I wouldn't put up Claudia or Shania because I'm close with them on a personal level. She also let Ty know, excuse me, I wouldn't put you up because you pretty much did me a favor by using the POV this week. Even though it wasn't on me, it still helped.
You put up a bigger target so that I didn't have to worry about packing my bags.
Yeah. So she was explaining she would be following a process of elimination approach. So not her girls, not Ty. So she'd keep going like, who do I not want to see go? And then whoever's left, like, those are the nominees.
The scraps.
Yeah. I think that's reasonable.
Okay. I hope Zach is a scrap.
I know, right? So then Roberto and Kuzi are chatting, and Santina was with them for part of it. But like,
this was shocking.
This was very, very interesting and surprising. I was not expecting,
in a good way,
this candid game chat between Roberto and Kuzi. First of all, it sounds like there's been some drama between Jonathan and Hope.
Right.
Like some bickering. They're not really getting along. We didn't get to see it firsthand, but we're hearing about it.
Yeah. And Rob was like, so what do you want to talk about? Like the drama with, what's going on with Hope? And Kuzi was like, what? Nobody tells me anything. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So I guess people are just not, they don't know what to do with Hope. They don't know what to do with Hope because he, as we've seen, he's a lot. So I guess it's rubbing some people the wrong way.
Did he run out of his ADHD medication?
I don't know, but
he's a lot.
Kuzi is asking Roberto, with everything that's going on, would you target Hope next week? Like, does this mean anything? And Roberto's like, I don't know if I would necessarily do that because...
But would you do it for me?
Because he says he is close to Hope, and Hope would listen to him in the game. But it seems like people just don't know how to handle or digest Hope's energy.
Right.
So it seems like Roberto would not target Hope.
No. But then he started asking Kuzi who she would put up on the block. And she smartly was kind of non-committal about that. And then he started spilling his guts about the whole Zach situation, where Zach is a real slick whistle. And,
he named names.
He really threw him under the bus.
He's nervous that Zach is going to try and like get a group together with Santina, Dan, Daniel C, and Anika, and maybe like come after Rob or something. So he's worried that Zach
that's a B squad.
Yeah, amassing this B squad. Interesting that he's revealing all this to Kuzi, because I didn't know that these two were as tight as they apparently are. Maybe this is like a new thing. I don't know.
It seemed like the way he was talking to her, it was like, oh, from the last time that we talked, that they kind of had something on the down low. But we'll never know without the live feeds.
I don't know. But sorry.
I know this is boring.
Once it started, can't stop. No. I just haven't been sleeping that much. I'm tired. So Roberto says he doesn't necessarily want to target Zach. That's not what he's doing here, but he wants people aware of everything Zach is up to. So it sounds like he wants other people to target Zach. He doesn't want to be the one to do it.
It's like I won't break up with my husband. I'm gonna have somebody take a hit out on him if we're gonna be together.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess. But then Kuzi was asking...
Guzman.
Yeah, Guzman. Kuzi was asking Roberto, who would you put up if you won HOH? And he was listing off Vanessa, Anika, maybe Dan.
Strongly dislikes Anika.
Yeah,
he did make a point of saying that.
He said to Kuzi, like, if you feel like you're good with her and you can kind of influence her,
I'm sorry.
I don't have to do that. But Kuzi was like, no, I don't know. Like, she can go. All right. So interesting, these two. Super close.
I would love to see these two work together. I could get behind the whole Rob mutiny I think it could really be good TV to see the big boys pitted against each other for a change.
They're definitely brewing for a civil war.
I'm for it.
Civil war.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
of course.
Without this, the show would be poo-poo. But this is heating up in a nice temperature right now. Yeah. I'm liking this.
I'll take it. Like week 1. Week 1/2. Let's do it. So then Ty and Anika are chatting in the library. And Ty is asking her questions about the guys. I couldn't really understand what he was saying at first in this conversation.
Who knows what he's saying half the time?
Basically that they're like going to work together and they got to keep it on the down low. So Ty is asking her questions about the guys and it felt very like, these are the people I'm working with. So what do you think of them? Like it felt very out in the open about all these guys working together. So I'm talking about like Zach, Hope, Roberto, Jonathan. And he's asking Anika, who do you trust the least out of those guys? And Anika says Zach because he's friends with everyone, which means he's really friends with no one. Oh my God.
And she made a point of bringing that up, which she already knew.
So in this conversation, Roberto also comes up. Ty seems concerned that Rob is getting a little too close with a lot of the girls, a lot of the women. And he's telling Anika, if you see anything fishy with the girls,
you let me know.
Let me know.
Let me know.
I'm sorry. This is like, I don't like it.
I hate the way Ty is using her, and she's just too dumb to realize that she's getting
the next
used.
Santina.
Yes, exactly.
I see that. Yeah.
She thinks she's the pretty girl, but she's just getting used for the whatever week, 2 weeks, month,
however long they can use her.
Exactly.
So then Ty brings us info back to Zach. They are chatting in the Pink Flamingo room.
Was gross.
This was a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of ego in this conversation because guess what? Sweatshirt gate is raging on. Okay, so Ty is all pissed off because Rob made a joke. Apparently the girls were talking about like, who do you have a crush on in the house? And Rob made a joke that Claudia must have a crush on him because she wore his sweatshirt.
How could he do that? No respect.
Oh my God. And Ty was like, it's one thing if he said that in front of the boys, but like he said it in front of everyone.
They were dying.
He went for the laughs. So Zach says, what the F is wrong with this guy? He knows exactly what he's doing. He has no respect.
Yeah.
The fact that he's joking about this is so messed up. Oh my God. So Zach says Rob thinks that he's better than them because we know that Zach wanted Renee out this week.
Right.
But Rob was like, no. And I think that's part of the reason why
Rob got his way.
Yeah. JM remained the target this week instead of Renee.
Ty is as sensitive as a sore wiener.
So Zach is saying, oh, Rob thinks that he won this week. Like, JM isn't even out of here yet, and he thinks he's so great. He thinks he's better than us.
He didn't win. Zach's going to get him to give him his sweatshirt.
Well, we'll get there. So Ty was telling Zach.
Sit on his lap.
No, Zach. No, Ty was telling Zach about the conversation with Anika and how, you know, Rob's getting close to these girls and Rob and Renee both have to go.
Oh, they don't even know.
So there are some huge, huge, huge egos in this bro squad, especially with Zach and Ty. And when these two are together, I just want to like throw up.
Terrible.
It's too much.
You know what really made me sick? When Zach was talking about like, I'm so smart, I can't turn it off.
Yeah.
Because that's
I'm
just
not going to be able to hide how smart I am. Okay. So anyway, Ty is saying he really wants Hope to win this next HOH. And then he's going to convince Hope to target Roberto because he knows, he knows that he knows that Hope really wants to make like a big move that's going to cause a lot of drama. So he's hoping that he can get Hope.
I'm hoping Hope is dead ass this week.
That would kind of be hilarious.
And maybe like Renee would get up on the HOH and put Zion tack. Zach and Ty.
Not Zion tack.
Yeah, Zion tack.
Oh my God. let's just say, okay, as annoying as Zach and Ty are, it is delicious watching how this boys group is already starting to crumble.
Crumble, baby.
I'm into that.
They're afraid of Vanessa, too.
They are. Like, what? I don't know.
She's vacuuming.
Yeah. So a little late. Are they dogs that are afraid of the vacuum?
I don't
get it. But a little later, eventually, like, some other people come into the room, including Rob. And Zach is like, oh, I wish I had packed better for this trip. Like, I'm so cold. I need like a sweater or something.
Should I wear this zip up? Oh, that's nice.
Save this for tomorrow.
Save it for tomorrow for sure.
So Zach weasels his way into borrowing one of Rob's hoodies. And I think it might be the hoodie that caused Sweatshirt Gate because Claudia was wearing it earlier.
He put it on. Oh, it's so nice.
You know he's doing this shit on purpose. Oh my God.
Is he gonna fart that hoodie to death?
No!
Hand it back.
I just can't believe like the insecurity and the pettiness of Ty and Zach. Like, it's outrageous. So it's getting interesting. We've got
the maintenance boys.
Yeah, we've got Ty maintenance. We've got the first eviction of the season tonight. It looks like JM is going unless something crazy happens.
Well, whatever.
Yeah,
He's done.
He made a huge mistake.
He did it to himself. It's not even like somebody did it to him. He did it to himself.
Yeah. So we want to know from you guys, who is going to win this next HOH? Who do you want to win this next HOH?
Who do you want to win this HOH?
I want one of those gals to win, like Renee or
is
Claudia.
My number one, baby. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel good about Claudia winning.
Yeah, because she probably
she's still in with Ty maintenance.
We don't want that. So not Claudia, but Renee for sure would be cool.
Shanae.
I like Kuzi a lot, but I'm a little bit worried. Like, I don't know where she stands exactly.
I feel like he's afraid to make a big move.
So I don't know if she would do it this soon.
Yeah. Definitely not Dan.
I want to see these guys get broken up. That's what I want.
That's what we want.
Who will be dead ass this week?
Zach.
It would be hilarious.
I want
Ty or Zach. I'd like to see the two of them up on the block.
I want to see Zach crap his pants.
Ew.
In those beautiful white jogger sweats.
Let us know if you would also like to see this.
Is that wrong? Is it wrong? It might be, right?
I don't know.
All right, I'll take it back.
All right. Well, we want to thank you all so much for being here. We will be back tonight to recap the eviction episode. Should be fun. And we'll see you then. So thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yep. And until next time, much love. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Bye.